Maya is fidgeting in her seat. The chips and salsa sit on the table, untouched. Though she was in a booth in the back, she had a good view of the front door. As the minutes passed, she felt it was less likely Jason would show up. Maya reflects on their fight. She said what had to be said. There was no two ways about it. They were heading to college, just not the same one. Opposite coasts, trying to navigate college and maintain a long-distance relationship did not make sense to Maya. Maya sipped some water. She hears the doorbell and looks up. Someone enters the restaurant, but it is not Jason. She glances at her phone. It is almost 8:15 p.m. She recalls their fight and begins to think he will not show. Jason got very angry with her when she suggested they move on, go their own separate ways. She had never seen him so upset, hurt, and when she saw tears in his eyes, Maya felt what she had always suspected. Jason loved her more than she loved him. Jason was sitting in his car watching Maya from the parking lot. He knew this was the end for sure. Jason had thought maybe she had changed her mind, wanted to get back together. But if that were the case, she would not have chosen a table in the back to have this little talk. Jason ran through thoughts in his head, wondering what he could have done different. He punched the steering wheel. Jason decided to just go in and get it over with. Juan asked Maya if she needed anything else. She assured him that she was fine, just waiting for Jason. Juan assured her he would be there soon, not to worry. He set a small bowl of guacamole on her table. Maya loves guac, but assured Juan she had not ordered any. Juan smiled and said it was compliments of the house for their #1 customer. Maya thanked him and then noticed Jason walking to the table. Jason greeted Juan and asked for some water. He sat down quickly before Maya could get up and give him a hug. Maya could tell he was still upset. Maya asked how he was doing. Without looking up, Jason replied he was fine. Maya saw Juan coming with water for Jason. She decided to wait until Juan left. Jason took a sip of water. Maya tried to hold his hand, but he pulled away. Maya proceeded to make the case that it was in their best interest to go to college with a clear mind and no distractions. She waited for a response from Jason, but there was none. For the next 10 minutes did all the talking. When she ran out of words, she took a sip of water. Jason would not look up. Maya implored him to talk to her, yell at her, but to just communicate. Jason wanted to just scream, but he didn't want to cause a scene. He did muster up the will to look at her. He told himself not to get emotional. He took a sip of water and simply told Maya to do whatever she wanted. He wished her the best and to have a good life. Maya reached for his hand again, but he pulled away. Jason got up quickly and his body banged into the table. This caused Maya's glass to tip over and spill water all over the table. Maya watched as Jason left the restaurant. Juan came over and quickly cleaned up the water. Maya apologized, but Juan cut her off. He apologized for the trouble her and Jason were having. Juan told her to sit tight. He was going to whip up some hibiscus tea and her favorite rolled tacos with the works. Maya said not to bother. She was going to leave. Juan would not have it. After they brought her food, Maya dived right in. She could eat, no matter the mood. Juan made sure to visit her table and try to make her laugh. She was almost done with the food when Juan came over and asked her if she liked to dance. She said yes, loves to. Juan said that is good because tonight we are having a private party here in the restaurant. The staff were going to celebrate a birthday of a staff member. Music and, of course, more food. He asked if she was up for it. Maya didn't think twice. She would love to hang out. After the place closed to the public, the staff started to arrange the party. Maya helped slide some booths around to create a dance floor. She immediately got into the party mood after Juan put on some music. Maya was laughing and clapping until some of the ladies pulled her into their dance circle. It was fun, and Maya forgot her troubles. Eventually, Juan came by and pulled her to the dance floor. She was impressed on how good a dancer he was. After a couple of songs, Juan handed her off to Rudy, the cook. Then Beto, the waiter, got his turn. It would not be a party without a toast. Juan and the team broke out some tequila and started passing out shots. Juan pulled Maya to the side and advised her that even though she was only 18, he would give her a drink or two as long as she felt fine. Maya laughed and said it wasn't her first rodeo and downed the shot. Juan and the others cheered her. It was almost midnight when the party started to die down. Some workers started to leave, including the birthday lady. Beto and Rudy were the only two other folks left. They both sat and intently watched the boss and Maya twirl around the dance floor. Having already lost count of the shots and feeling quite numb, Maya didn't notice she was the last girl there. Unable to control his urges, Beto went to cut in on the dance. Juan stepped aside and Maya embraced her new dance partner. Maya laid her head against Beto's chest as they danced. Beto slowly ran his hands down her sides and held her hips as Rudy watched. He watched as Beto rubbed her back and slowly moved his hand down over her ass. Rudy wanted some of that, for Maya had an amazing body. He got up and told Beto to step aside. Beto wasn't done and told him to get lost. Rudy stood there and stared Beto down. Beto gave up and handed Maya off. Rudy grinned as he placed his hands where Beto's had been. As he gave her a little squeeze, she looked up at him. Rudy leaned in and gave her a kiss. Juan had watched all this and had decided it was enough. Juan cut the music and declared the party over. Juan was too drunk to drive, as was Maya, so he was going to call a taxi. Maya said she could just walk. It was only a mile. Juan thought about it and agreed, but insisted Beto walk her. Maya told him she preferred Rudy and immediately took his hand and led him to the door. Rudy grinned at Juan and Beto. Juan advised him to behave. She was a client. Rudy left with Maya and they made their way down the boulevard. Once they made a turn off the boulevard, they headed towards the park as Maya insisted it would be faster. Maya asked Rudy how long he had been working at the place. He said it was going on 9 months. She asked what he did before that. Rudy told her he had been in prison. This got Maya's attention, and she looked over at Rudy. Rudy said it was just drugs when I was a teenager. Maya asked his age. He said he was 28. Maya wasn't concerned at all about his record. She found it kind of hot and asked more questions. They got to the park, and as they got to the wet grass, Maya wanted to remove her sandals. As they resumed the trek, Rudy reached for her hand. Maya felt butterflies in her stomach. They were silent for a while, until Rudy asked her if his kiss earlier had bothered her. She said no. Maya then mentioned that her mom was not home. Rudy got the drift. He stopped and turned to face her. He gave her a kiss. Maya moaned as they kissed. Maya was on fire, so she stopped making out and grabbed his hand. She pulled him in the direction of her house. They exited the other side of the park and made it down her street. They approached the house and Maya felt the excitement building. They went in. The door closed and the house was dark until her bedroom light came on upstairs for a minute, then turned off. Next morning, Maya woke up thirsty. She looked around and Rudy was gone. She went downstairs for some ice water and to put some coffee on. As she waited for her brew, she plopped down on the sofa. She grabbed a throw pillow and hugged it. She smiled as she relived the amazing night she had experienced. As she daydreamed, she heard the front doorbell. She opened the door. It was Rudy again. He had brought back her car, some breakfast, and coffee. Maya pulled him in and skipped the food. After another round of fun for Maya. After Rudy left, Maya had her coffee. She was watching TV when Jason called. Jason immediately apologized. He stated that he felt really bad and hoped she would be willing to see him. He came by later and this time they talked. They talked calmly as they held hands. After working out all the angles, they decided to just pause the relationship, kind of like a timeout. Maya and Jason spent the whole afternoon watching TV. Maya stared at the screen as she dreamed of Rudy.